Morning everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison and today we'll be going over the markets, looking at Bitcoin, looking at some of the news stories as well, and just going over kind of crypto in general and talking crypto in general as well. But I'm just going to see if we're live. Now you need to forgive me, I'm a wee bit kind of woozy this morning. Woke up, I've got a pain in my neck and I've had it for the last 5 days. I've been taking cocodamol and it just gives you a really bad kind of hangover, so I feel extremely kind of woozy and the voice has kind of gone a wee bit as well. It's weird, so I try not to take them again today, but just in case you think he looks a wee bit stoned or something. Right, I'm just going to see if we're live or not. Right, we have a few people in just now. Have we got anybody in the chat area? We have indeed. Let me see, I can need a wee drink of this. Get rid of this hangover. Right, we've got a few people in the chat area just now. I'll just jump over, see who's in there. We have Mike is in the house this morning. Welcome to you, Mike. Good to see you here. Chris Camus is in. Gene is in. Mervyn Skidmore on his crypto journey is back with us. Crypto Knowledge Alliance, our very own Jimbo. And Jimbo, I don't know if you know it or not, but he's actually with Altcoin Buzz just now with the team at Altcoin Buzz. Big shout out to the team at Altcoin Buzz. I've been following them for a while, and our very own Jimbo has got his kind of videos up there as well, looking at technical analysis for Bitcoin. So well done, Jimbo. Big huge congratulations to you, mate, and well done to the Altcoin Buzz team. You've got a good guy there. We've got Gordy Boy in the house. We have Gary Permenta, Mike D, one of our Brown admins as well. Crypto Don Juan is in the house with us this morning as well. Good to see you. DJs, good to see you here. Right. Excuse me. Right, we'll just look at the markets overall just now. Jeez, oh man. As I said, I'm feeling extremely kind of woozy just now because of these tablets, and that was last night, so this is a hangover from last night. Not a drink hangover, just taking those tablets. I hate taking tablets normally. Right. We have Bitcoin price is 9,163 at the moment, aggregated price. We have an overall market capitalization of 245 billion with Bitcoin dominance at 67.4% at the moment. Who's the winners and losers? Thunder token, spoke about that a couple of months ago, now up 51%. Just now, market cap 41 million. Lambda is up 27%. Decred is up 16%. Zilliqa, Centrality, all up in double-digit greens as well. So doing well. Just now, we have Noah Coin down 54%. Molecular Future, which has been up amazing. It was done amazingly well over the last couple of months, up 14%. That's only two down in double-digit reds. And the others are not down by that much, to be honest. We have, how much have we got in the green? It's probably about 60% in the green, 40% in the red in the top 100. We'll look at all of the cryptocurrencies listed on CoinMarketCap just now, and we now have 3,052, so it's jumped up by 5 yesterday, and we'll see who's jumped up over the last 24 hours. HXRO is up 149% on 22,000 volume. Safe is up 117% on 18,000 volume, not by that much. Tarush is up on 700,000 volume, market cap of 1 million. 24-hour volume is up 99%. So worth looking at that because of the volume and because of the jump and because of the market cap as well. We're looking for hidden gems. Now BAB is up 81% over the last 24 hours. And on good volume as well, 167,000 volume, and it's up over the last hour of 13%. A lot of people trading that just now. I didn't get in on trading. I certainly wouldn't invest in it again, but trading, I would trade it. Just now, it's up 334% over the last 7 days. So it's doing well. So well done to all the BAB holders who held out for this. And see what happens with BAB for trading. As well, Thunder token up 65%, and that's about the kind of other only ones that's kind of worth talking about. We'll just have a look at this Tarush, see what this is. Taz, it's down big time. It was up to 11 million market cap very recently, only a couple of months ago. Marcus IDAX just now. And volume on IDAX 700,000. Wouldn't be so sure about that, to be honest. So there's been a burn of the tokens. Duration, other crypto ventures. It'd be worth looking into that, I think. Described itself as a cryptocurrency that focuses on privacy, scalability and fungibility through a Mimblewimble implementation. Actually, it could be good to look at that. That might be one worth looking at. This is why we go through these, just to see if we can find any hidden gems. And this could be one for looking at. I'm just going to bookmark this. Okay, just go back to chat area. Stephen King is in the house as well. Gene, views on ERD, please, Stephen. I'll look at that in a second. I was in ERD. I'll show you my kind of trading over the last month as well, over the last 20 days actually. I'll show you that in a second as well. But ERD is looking good now. And I've been in and out of it twice, and I think I've got out twice with a loss on ERD, which was a shame. It's gone up now, but I'll show you that in a second. Right, crypto bubbles. You can see Thunder token there up 55%. Win is up 16%, which is actually quite good. I'm in Win just now. You know that. You kind of know the story between XRP and Win token. And it's actually starting to move up just now, which is it's kind of nearly doubled. Well, no, it's gone up about 60% over the last kind of week or so, which is good. So I kind of put $16,000 into it, around about $17,000 I think. Selling XRP, $17,000, put into Wink thinking it was going to go up, making a quick profit, but it kind of went down because it got delisted. The BTC pair got delisted and it subsequently went down to about $3,000, which was crap, but it's now back up to about $7,000, which is good. So it could come back up. And Win actually looks okay for the long term, so I might hold it. Or maybe get out if the time is right and get back into XRP, or just trade it as well. Zilliqa is up, Lambda is up, DCR is up as well. That's over the last day. We'll look over the last hour, see what's happening. We're in the green. If we take the kind of step back, we're looking in the green just now, which is a good thing to see. Bitcoin is up 13%, Zill is up 4%, DCR up 6% over the last hour. What is it on BTC and Satoshi value? Not much change. So it's not changed there at all really. Okay, what's Bitcoin sentiment? 55.24 just now. And Bitcoin price 9,152 at the moment. We'll look at the chart in a second. But sentiment, it's kind of 50-50. Same with Ethereum as well. Stellar has got good sentiment at the moment. So XRM is up 8% at the moment. And it's got a sentiment of 60.99. This is just across all the kind of tweets that have been put out there. And they kind of analyse the kind of language that's used in the tweets. And they give it a score, a sentiment score. And it's got a daily sentiment score of 60.99 for Stellar, 55.24 for Bitcoin, and 56.87. So veering towards the positive sentiment. Fear and greed index has gone neutral again. It's coming down a wee bit. It was at kind of 53 the other day. It's down to 49 today. So neutral for the fear and greed index. Your tip, Wabi is up 9.6%. Stephen Rising. Yes, Wabi. I'm still in Wabi just now, and I'm going to show you that in a second as well. Mitch Dieter is in the house as well. Good morning to you, Mitch. Good to see you here. Okay, we shall look at October. This is October calls for the premium group, and this is all the calls I've made, and it's not been a brilliant number of calls that I've made. I've only made 27 calls in October. There's still a couple in play just now. But the average gain per call was 20.78%. The average drawdown per call was 8.2%. And the drawdown is the difference between the lowest price and the call price. So we want as low a drawdown as possible. The higher it is, obviously that's not good at all. You don't want These kind of marked in the red are the kind of high drawdowns, and where it hit the low first before it hit the high price. So, but overall, it was looking good for, well, it was good for October. What's some of the standout ones? Standout gains, RLC up 59%, that's still in play just now. So called that 4,880 Satoshi, kind of went up to a high so far of 7,780, so up 60%. And I was fairly sure that was going to go up kind of big time as well, and I still think it's going to go up past the 10,000 Satoshi mark. It's coming down a wee bit just now. CDT gave a good return, 20%. Wabi called that 1603 in the premium group. That's up 33% so far, and it's still in play just now. And I still think that's going to go up to around the 3,200 Satoshi level. But we'll wait and see what happens there. What else gone up? AMB called that 140%. We got on that as well, which was quite good. The trades. So I've been trading. I took out kind of $2,000 and traded with 0.24 Bitcoin and started trading with that on the 8th of October. And this is the calls, and not the calls, this is the kind of trades I've made so far. So I've gone to Zilliqa, made 2.7%. That was on the 8th of October. So I started off with 0.243. ERD gone at 21. It was crossing over, so it hit the first row of my trading, crossed over, but then it came down to 18. So I'd lost 14% on that, which is not good at all. That was a big hit. The usual kind of 5% doesn't really apply there, because I would have got out at 20 if I just stuck to the 5%. But on these low Satoshi value coins, you can't just stick to the kind of 5%, because it's only like one Satoshi worth. CDT made 16% on that, which was good, and then the other losses were around about the 5% level, which is good as well. Big gain in Wabi. I got out of Wabi 1823 with a 13% profit, and then subsequently got back in again because I thought it's still going to go up, and I still believe it's going to go up to 3,200 or so. But if it breaks structure, I will come out of it again, hopefully with a kind of small gain on it. Gone to ELF as well recently, down straight away almost within a couple of hours, down 5%. So up to 0.31 Bitcoin at the moment. Unless Wabi's doing something weird. 2061 for Wabi, still think that's going to go up. So if that was 2061, be 8.53%. So really what I'm looking for is a 10 to 15% rise in all of them. But I've gained so far about 20% overall, 20 to 30% overall. From the starting point, 0.24 up to 0.32. So it's probably about a wee bit more than 30% actually. But that's the average gain per trade, and that's kind of ERD's kind of scuppered that a couple of times actually. But ERD is going up just now, which is good. Alright, we'll go to the charts at the moment. This is the Bitcoin chart just now. Right, so there's some good things and not so good things about the Bitcoin price just now. Kind of positives or bullish signs are on the daily, and 70 EMA has crossed over the 50 EMA. It crossed over a couple of days ago and it's stayed up there just now. So that is actually a bullish sign for me, a really bullish sign for me. So it stayed up there just now. Expected that to come down to meet this CME gap. Is that going to be met? Who knows? Did it meet the other day? It didn't quite get there. It went down to 8,961. So it didn't quite fill that gap. A lot of people talk about it, so we have to pay attention to it. But it didn't quite fill the gap. So we'll see if it does it over the weekend or not. But that's a bullish sign for me that the 70 EMA is above the 50 EMA. Volume is not really there at the moment. There's not much volume in kind of Bitcoin just now. So that's not a good sign for me. There's other kind of bearish signs as well. I think coming into the weekend, I think we might dip down kind of slightly, and it might go down to this 8,900 or 8,800 and then bounce back up. We've not had that yet, and I expected that to happen the other day. So we'll see kind of what happens there with it. But there are bullish signs and there are bearish signs. There's nothing, I know that sounds as if, yeah, it could go down, it could go up. What's the point of kind of talking about it? But we still have to look at it. But for me, it's still bullish in definitely the long term. Obviously, I'm very bullish long term on Bitcoin. I've been speaking about that for ages. I'm really bullish, and I'm putting more money into kind of Bitcoin as well, rather than the alts. But I'm still trading alts as well, and I still see a lot of alts that are doing really, really well. There's something else I wanted to address. We were kind of talking in the pre-group this morning, and I think it was Mike. Is Mike in? Mike was in, yeah. I was saying the bit rate has gone down. Tim Gash has joined us. Yeah, Mike is still in. Mike, I think it was you that was talking in the pre-group. About I think it said you were in Link just now. It's saying why would you kind of go or put more money into Bitcoin rather than stay in the alts? Okay, so here's the kind of situation. What happened kind of last year with myself? I was in the alts, a lot of the alts. It was mainly alts. To be honest, I was hardly in Bitcoin at all. And I've kind of changed my stance on that. I'm saying, okay, I need to stick 80% of it in Bitcoin and 20% of it for trading just now. And that's the kind of way I'm going just now. But I've got money in the kind of pension pot with Bitcoin as well. Well, it's a Bitcoin derivative, it's an ETN. But essentially it's kind of Bitcoin that I'm kind of banking on for the pension, and trading with the rest as well. And you can see I put $2,000 in, which is not 20% of it, but I put $2,000 in to start with. I'm waiting on Wink coming back up. That's probably another $7,000 and a couple of others. So I'll trade with that, but hold most of it in Bitcoin. Now, what Mike was saying is he was in Link at the moment. And we'll just have a look at Link. Link has done brilliant, phenomenally well over the last couple of months. Right, so there's Link just now, and he's saying, why wouldn't I just stay in Link rather than put 80% in kind of Bitcoin and 20% in an alt? Now, you can with Link. The difference, what was happening last year and the year before, was a lot of people were in ICOs. That was their altcoin strategy, was to buy these ICOs, wait until they go up, and then kind of get out with a long-term gain. That didn't happen. A lot of them just crashed. A lot of them went up to begin with, and there was a period you could have got out with a massive profit, but a lot of people held on to the ICOs. Like me, I held on to loads of kind of ICOs, which was silly in hindsight, but that's just in hindsight. So with the ICOs, it was different because they were just looking for money. They were grabbing money and running. A lot of them were just grabbing money and run. Titanium comes to mind. It was just an idea they had. It sounded good. They had a good marketing plan and everything else. People put millions of dollars into it. Like Titanium, I think there was 20, 30, 40 million dollars put into that. And the guy, Michael Stillair, done a runner with the money. So it was projects like that a lot of people were coming out with. There's no substance behind it. Today's kind of ICOs and today's projects that are just coming out just now, the IEOs coming out just now, are much different from the ICOs that were coming out in back end of 2017, beginning of 2018, because they have got substance. They've already got a product, they're up and running, they've made partnerships, and this is the case with Link. Link is going to do brilliantly over the next couple of years. It's going to do amazing. So what you were saying, Mike, about staying in Link, you could probably outrun kind of BTC. You're probably going to kind of outgrow Bitcoin. I don't know by how much, or it could be on a par with Bitcoin as well. I was just saying kind of Bitcoin is good to have it in because you kind of know that Bitcoin is going to outpace or outlast the market. It's going to outlast all the other kind of coins because everybody knows Bitcoin. Everybody's talking about Bitcoin, and that's what the lay person knows about. When they think of crypto, they think of Bitcoin. They don't think of Link, they don't think of Tail, they don't think of any others. They think of Bitcoin. And we think Bitcoin is going to be here for the future. If it's not, if Bitcoin does fall, and if Bitcoin does go away, the whole market is going to disappear. Let's be honest. It's not that Bitcoin is going to go down and the rest of the cryptocurrencies will survive. If Bitcoin goes down, the whole market's going to go down. The whole cryptocurrency market will go down with it. So that's why I'm saying invest in Bitcoin as well, or put money in Bitcoin. If you're in Link just now and you bought it at 80 cents or something, you're doing brilliant. Take some profit off the table though. If I blend anything, I'll take some profit off the table. Just now, we can see it kind of went all the way up to 39,000 Satoshi, came all the way down to 15,000 Satoshi, so it dipped by 50%. So take some profits and then buy the dips again if you're going to do it, if that's your strategy. But still put money in Bitcoin if you can as well. That would be my suggestion, Mike. Mohammed Ahmed, have a look at BAB. It's up. Yeah, I've been speaking about BAB this morning as well. We just seen that. It's up 84% over the last 24 hours. And we'll just have a look. A lot of people burned with BAB. Obviously myself included, but we'll look at BAB just now. Still people talking about it. BAB backs Ethereum. Just make sure we're live still. We had some problems the other day, but we're good. That's not right. There we go. So it's up big time. So what's it gone up over the last couple of days? It is up 229% over the last couple of days. Since it's up 300% since October, just last week. It's up 300%, which is brilliant, which is really good to see. And the people that kind of held BAB as well is brilliant. It's really good to see that. What is it? I suppose it's still under 1 Satoshi, is it? Yeah, it's just hit 1 Satoshi just now. Yeah, just hit 1 Satoshi at the moment. So that's brilliant if you held on. If you kind of had a bag, I had a big, huge bag, you know, you kind of know the story now. And I managed to get out at, I think it was 8 or 9 Satoshi, way up here, which was good. But a lot of people did kind of hold on, thinking that it could come out. But it's starting to go up just now, so I'm glad some people are getting their money back as well, which is good to see. Mike, thanks for the explanation, Steve. It's a kind of a drug-fueled explanation, Mike, because I do feel really kind of as if I'm kind of slurring my words or whatever just now. So it would probably be better if I was much more mentally clear. It doesn't feel that way just now, but hopefully it did make sense, and I'm glad it helped, Mike. Honest Crypto Journey, just letting you know your live title reads Bitcoin back in China. Ah, that's not so good. Oh, back in China. This would be China. Right. Thanks for that. Thanks for that, Stuart. Right. Okay, that was the news story. I've done on that as well. So I want to look at a couple of news stories. This is the kind of main news story, and this is good. This is good because obviously this fuels what kind of China talk that's been going on over the last week or so. And this is a big deal that China are back into it, because if China get back into it big time in a big way, there's a lot of money in China, a lot of money, and they could really dominate the cryptocurrency market. We've seen all the kind of Chinese projects jumping up this week as well, big time. The likes of Neo jumped up 40%. There's loads of them kind of jumped up by about 30 or 40%. And they could still do well, a lot of them, in the short term and the long term as well. Wabi is one of them actually, the one I'm in just now, and the one we've been talking about. But major crypto exchange Binance may be returning to China with a planned office to open in Beijing, sources say. So it left China in September 2017 in response to the country's ban on crypto trading. It's looking to open a new office in Beijing to accompany one operating in Shanghai to unnamed sources told CoinDesk yesterday. So crypto markets shook on October 25th following Chinese President Xi Jinping announcement of support for blockchain innovation in the country. On October 26th, Bitcoin reported daily gains of upwards 36% and to over 42% according to some exchanges, and what many saw as a result of Xi's professed support. So having China on board for cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin in general is going to be absolutely massive, and it is massive. It's a massive story. That's why I'm kind of really looking at China and looking at the Chinese stories as well, and what's happening there in China just now as well. And I think the Bitcoin price could explode much quicker than we thought because of this as well. And I think we could go up big time when China starts buying Bitcoin in a big way. And they probably have already, but this could be huge for Bitcoin. And this is the type of news and the type of thing that could propel Bitcoin way up to kind of $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in the next 5 years or so. Because if you think about it, imagine you are kind of Donald Trump, for example, or any leader of kind of Boris, for example, in the UK as well, and the other kind of leaders in Europe. If you're looking at the kind of Chinese, if you're following it closely and saying, okay, China are going to be buying up Bitcoin, you don't want them to lead the cryptocurrency kind of world, or them to be the kind of leaders in cryptocurrency and hold the most Bitcoin. You're going to get other countries starting to buy Bitcoin as well because of this. It's probably going to start to happen. It's probably started happening already. So this is why the Bitcoin price is going to become much more scarcer than what it is just now as well. So this is why it's so interesting that China are kind of back on board. And I would imagine more and more news stories will come out that China are buying up Bitcoin big time. Okay, just jump back to some of the other news stories as well. Just make sure we're live because I have had some problems. We're good. We're good. 25 people on. Binance IEOs, Elrond and Siri partner on business and scalability. So this is Elrond, obviously this is why they're going up, ERD is going up, and Siri have ambitious plans and backing from Binance. Can they take on Salesforce and other CRMs? So Siri are a kind of CRM looking to take on Salesforce, which is massive. I'm in the kind of marketing, the internet marketing space, and Salesforce is massive just now. So that's just a kind of headline from that and why ERD is going up just now, and they're just crossing over. We'll just look at ERD. Wabi is up 2,133, which is good. ERD up to 2021. Yep, 2021. They've not quite crossed over, and that was the kind of mistake I made when I was trading them. And I traded them here, 21. They just about crossed over, and they hadn't quite crossed over. I should have waited until they crossed over. Until I made my move for that, but they hadn't quite, and they came back down again, and the same is happening again. They've not quite crossed over on the daily yet. Once they get up for another couple of days and they get up to 21, 22, then it could be time to make a move for Elrond and go in with a good kind of 50-60% move possible. What else is going up? Decred is going up as well, 15% on Binance. It's not crossed over, so it wouldn't be a buy for me at the moment. But it's going up just now, a good 15%. Zilliqa is up. I don't think that's a crossover either. It's not met the first drill. Nope. So it hasn't really crossed over apart from way back in December 2018. It's not had a good crossover, Zilliqa. Wabi is still going up. That crossed over a few days ago. Well, back at the beginning of the month, and it's still going up just now. Now with Wabi, I've kind of shown you this before. It's obviously because I'm in it, so there's so I've got interest in it. But we've got this big gap here. I'll show you this just now, just to show you a bit of TA. Wabi BTC. Right, so what I was looking for is for Wabi to break kind of structure like it had in the past. So 1900 was the level, and I said to kind of myself, okay, if it breaks 1900, we're going to go up much higher, and it has broken 1900. And what we're looking for here with Wabi is to break the next point, or probably the resistance is going to be around about 3,200. That's why I said, okay, this is going to go up by 100% at 1,600, and it's this big bit in the middle. There's no kind of real resistance here. There's no resistance or support kind of structures in place just now. So this big kind of gap up to 3,200 looks very likely. I'm going to just see if this is on as well. Yeah, the volume. Yeah, it'll come down. So this structure here, this kind of supports it as well. The VPVR supports what I'm saying as well. Because the buying volume round about here at 1400 all the way up to around 1900, and that's the kind of place I was kind of looking at. I said if it broke that, we're going to go much, much higher. And then you've got this big, huge gap in the middle, all the way up to 3,200. That's when the buyers start to come in again. And you can see here at 3,200, and then all the way up to 3,700. So it could go much higher. So that's why I'm thinking Wabi is going to reach this 3,200 level. Whether it does or not is another story. It's worth keeping an eye on though, just to say, okay, he was wrong or he was right. But I think that's what's going to happen. There's no buying and selling pressure around about these areas historically. I have to look at the history because other people do, other traders do. So we have to kind of look at that. Other people are going to be looking at it. So yeah, keep an eye on that. 3,200 is the level I'm kind of looking at. Then we'll come down again, and then I would imagine go back up. But it's got good potential, has Wabi as well. If you're still in BAB, would you hold or sell? Sorry to mention BAB again. I would sell just now. If I was 300% up, I would definitely sell. If I was in BAB, I'd trade it. I'd be trading it. I wouldn't invest in it. I would never invest in it again in my life because I don't trust them kind of rush D. But trading it is a different story altogether. There should be no emotion in trading. Trading is just all about making money. But if I was in BAB, again, I would be kind of probably, if it went up 100%, probably sold half and just do the old lady kind of technique. Sold half every 100% that kind of made. You'd make a good kind of profit there as well, or just do a trailing stop loss. Would you see Kin as a current hidden gem on a proviso they beat the SEC? Surely it's worth holding a bag for the gamble court case in April, I believe. Kin, I think, a kind of brilliant project, really brilliant project, and I did back last year as well. Kind of when I was holding it, held a bag as well. Obviously lost money on them as well with the SEC case, but made money in the beginning as well. But would I see it? Would I go buy into it just now? It's a gamble. If you really think about it, it's a gamble at the moment. So the court case, if it comes in April, you're kind of betting 50-50. Whether they win it, whether they lose it. Have they got the money to keep fighting it? Just now, I think what Ted's doing is amazing. He's fighting it. Personally, I think he is going to come through it. And they're going to get a lot of backers as well, so they can support Kin in their case against the SEC. But it's really a gamble. Just now, if you think about it from that point of view, you're kind of betting that they are going to win their case, or that you're going to bet that they're not going to win it. But the risk to reward ratio could be amazing. When do you think you'll get back into XRP, Steve? When I've got the funds. I don't want to get into. I'm buying XRP with my BAT tokens, so I think I've got about £100 worth. There's not that much at all of XRP. I've got £100 worth just now, so I'm into XRP just now. I'm just swapping BAT automatically, my BAT tokens into XRP when I'm getting them from the Braid browser. So I've got about £50 worth, £100 worth or something. Not that much at all. But if Wink comes back up, just now 1929, I've now got 34, So 6616. $6,616 worth of WIN tokens. I still think that's going to go up in the future as well. So if that was to come up, say if that was to double again, the WIN token, and it was maybe 13,000, it came up to $13,000. XRP, I still think XRP is going to come down a wee bit before it goes up. So if I was to catch it before it exploded, so if it came down here, and it'd have to be the stars kind of aligning, if it came down to around about the 2,700 level, and WIN was to kind of double up as well, and I got about $14,000, then I would buy it. How much would 13,000 going to buy? XRP USDT, 29 cents. I wouldn't buy as much as I had. 44,000, and I kind of had about 57, 60,000 when I sold them. How much would that have been? 60, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it was about 17,400. So yeah, if the stars were to line, I'd get back into it kind of big time before they kind of shot up in price, or if the trading kind of pot was to grow much bigger. Or the other thing I could do, and I've been thinking about, is could sell this WIN for $6,000, these WIN tokens for $6,000 just now, and trade it, and just trade it like I've been doing, and just add it to kind of this pot, and just trade with this and look for 10% each time. And obviously that would give me bigger kind of wins, obviously bigger losses as well. So there's lots of different options, but we'd definitely look to get back into XRP as well. Honest Crypto Journey, also apologies for not being around as much here on my YouTube channel. Not only has work been mad, had a wee health scare over the last couple of weeks, which is consuming and distracting. I hope everything's okay, Stuart. Get myself back on track again. Oh, sorry, hear that, mate? I hope everything's back to normal again, and hope everything is okay. Gary Pimenta, BNB should explode with the move into Chinese mainland. Will be interesting how Hong Kong affects Bitcoin too. Indeed. So if we look at BNB as well, BNB is just kind of moving into buy zone just now again. So it is currently at what, 216,000 just now, 216,000 Satoshi. At the moment it's just crossing back up over the daily. It might be a wait. At the moment it's got 3 red candles on the daily. So I might kind of wait. If I was trading that, I would probably wait to see what happens there. It just crossed over on the daily, but then it's coming back down again, so I'd probably wait to actually trade that. But yeah, BNB looks good, certainly for the long term. Short term, not so much. Yeah, short term, not so much. Could come down again. So kind of waiting that. But China and Binance getting into China could be really, really good as well. Look at the other news stories. A Bitcoin fund with retail access. So Bitcoin fund gets approval nod from regulators in Canada. So the first regulated Bitcoin fund available on traditional exchanges in North America will set off on Canadian soil. So Canada-based 3iQ Core recently received a positive response from the Ontario Securities Commission following the company's efforts to list the Bitcoin fund on the country's stock exchange. In a blog post, and this is the blog post that I'm talking about, the Bitcoin fund received favourable ruling from Ontario Securities Commission panel. Revealed that the OSC had ruled in favour of the company in a public hearing. According to 3iQ, OSC has advised the fund manager to issue a receipt for a final prospectus for the Bitcoin fund, signalling the agency's approval. The Bitcoin fund is a closed-ended fund and is expected to be listed on major Canadian stock exchanges by the end of 2019. This is good news as well, another piece of good news for Bitcoin. That a fund is actually, we're going to see more and more of this. And what's going to really help Bitcoin as well as China and everything else we've been talking about as well, is when the fund managers get into Bitcoin and they get these ETFs, they get these ETNs, they get these kind of derivatives as well. But the custodial ones is the ones we're interested in, where they actually have to kind of buy kind of physical Bitcoin. Not physical Bitcoin, but you know what I mean? They actually have to buy Bitcoin to store it, and it's got to be backed with Bitcoin as well. And that's why backed is so important as well. So you're going to get, as the fund managers and the pension managers and all those kind of managers, they're really going to drive the Bitcoin price up to huge amounts as well. What else was I looking at? China banking run could be a blessing for Bitcoin. This is just the kind of usual news stories about the banks, how badly they're doing and how the economy is doing as well. This is another kind of China bank run day 3. So what was it here? This is in Henan, Yichuan Rural Commercial Bank. As people are just rushing to the bank, this is day 3 of it, rushing to the bank to take their money off. So there's or take the money out of the bank. So there's a bank run happening at the moment, and this is just a news story saying, okay, we've had enough of banks, this should be time for Bitcoin as well. So I think they're looking for news stories like this about the kind of bank runs just now. We've seen it with kind of Hong Kong as well, what was happening there, and there's loads of news stories like this as well. Thought this was interesting from XRP Crypto. Bitcoin's credentials as a medium of exchange may be far from dead. So over the last few years, Bitcoin has undergone several shifts in its terms of utility. So what people are looking at just now with regards to Bitcoin is they're seeing it as a store of value. And I've always kind of maintained this could be a medium of exchange, i.e. a currency. Could still be used as a currency, but at the moment just for small kind of exchanges, i.e. Starbucks. Because you wouldn't mind spending $5 worth of crypto to buy a cup of coffee when you think that it might possibly go up or can double up, quadruple up, go up in price. You wouldn't bother saying, oh shit, that cup of coffee really cost me $20 instead of $5. But if you're to buy a car or a house, say a car at $20,000, you would mind spending Bitcoin on that, because it could be that $20,000 worth of Bitcoin you spent on a car would be worth $80,000, so you've really paid $80,000 for the car. So on small amounts, I don't think it's going to matter that much, so I think it could still be used as a currency for Bitcoin. And this is what this article is kind of saying as well. Initially, it was introduced as a form of decentralized currency. Over time, however, the sentiment changed. With the emergence of other virtual assets or altcoins, the community was exposed to better alternatives that were faster and cheaper in terms of transactions, i.e. XRP. Bitcoin's credentials as a medium of exchange weakened with time, but it slowly gave rise to the perception that BTC is a better form of store of value. So I'd agree with that. It's a much better store of value at the moment, i.e. gold, like gold as well, which is a store of value. You can spend gold as well, but not very easily. But that's how I see Bitcoin just now. But I still see it as a medium of exchange as well on smaller amounts. And this is Elias Simos, Senior Research Analyst at DecentralPark.io, recently put forward an argument that drew correlations between Bitcoin fees and miners' revenue. I've got the article here and I'll put the kind of link to it. And what he said, Simos presented another chart that excluded bull runs and demonstrated a clearer picture when the bullish phase was removed from the equation. The graphic indicated the BTC fees as a percentage of miners' revenue continued to grow at a steady pace. Further, the trend did not suffer any anomaly, even when the block reward halving was adjusted. Therefore, a clear utility of BTC as a medium of exchange could be derived from the charts. And there's more to it than I'm kind of reading out here, so I'll kind of put this in, but it puts the case forward for Bitcoin being a medium of exchange still, which was originally kind of brought out for as a decentralized currency. And I still think it could go that way, which is going to give it even more utility, not just a store of value as well. And obviously the tech is going to come up as well, but it is going to be much faster in the future as well. So I still think that's a viable case for Bitcoin as well, although a lot of people would kind of laugh at that. I still think that's what's going to happen. This is the news as well. Bitcoin index miscalculation causes massive crashes on Coinbase and Deribit as well. I don't know if you've seen this flash crash. Bitcoin's market was given another massive headache after its derivatives market, Deribit and Coinbase, oversaw a major miscalculation. leading to a 15% drop in Deribit's BTC perpetual swap contracts. Likewise, Coinbase Pro faced a similar problem after it reported that BTC spot prices on the exchange declined sharply from 9,260 to just over 9,000 in such a small period of time. So this was due to a miscalculation. People blaming the exchange here, pointing out that this might be related to Coinbase being off market for a while. However, the trades could only have happened because someone was selling at these levels. But it turned out it was a miscalculation in the index as well. So I think Deribit are going to have to pay out money. Marius Jensen, COO of Deribit, revealed that it reimbursed over 1.3 million in losses from the BTC index calculation data issue. Deribit tweeted, they've done that already. We have reimbursed all affected accounts. A total of 150 Bitcoin has been reimbursed by Deribit. So, still, the exchanges still having problems. Crypto exchanges still having problems with kind of Bitcoin's indexes as well. So, interesting news story there as well. Another one, yeah, Deribit kind of refunds 1.3 million. Okay, I didn't realise the time there. David D is in the house. Welcome to you, and good to see you here. UT is looking interesting. UT. ULord, I think you mentioned this before. 60,000 volume, 2.3 million market cap. L-Bank, a KuCoin it's on, which I like. Not really tried it. Well, I've not tried L-Bank at all. So don't know much about it at all, Gary. David D, hope some of you all benefited of the Cred LPA that I've mentioned last week. Great demo in San Francisco last week. So I was looking at this. David, it's up 22% on the day. Well, it's up to 2.96 to 228 BTC. I was looking into it. Obviously, it's a kind of lending and saving market as well. Just look at over the last month. Was it 6 million? Currently at 12 million with a high of 33 million market capitalization. So about 2 times where it is from here, or 300%. Social as well, co-founders. I'm taking it this was at San Francisco 11 hours ago. I'm presuming it was. Faster than Square, fairer than Visa, and friendlier than Chase. Customers pay the way they want. Merchants earn, borrow, and save. Local ones receive real-time tax revenue. So yeah, I was looking into that, and it does look really interesting. Obviously didn't get into it, but it does look really interesting, David. And with only a market cap of 12 million, it could still be a good one to look at for the long term as well. So thanks for kind of highlighting that one as well. And Chris Camus, what do you think about ZRX staking coming up in 10 days? I think ZRX are going to come back up again. They went down a wee bit just now. Yeah, coming back up. So obviously since September, we'll go to the daily. Look at the bigger picture. I think this is one of the ones on the weekly. No, it's not crossed over yet. But on the daily, crossed over on the 18th of September at 1,882, kind of got all the way up to 4,414. Come back down again, but as we can see, as so often happens again, on the 50 EMA, it kind of starts to bounce off the 50 EMA. So that seems to be a level of support there. So this could be a good time to get back into ZRX, and with the staking coming out in 10 days, I think it could be good. I don't know if the staking percentage is that high though, to be honest, so I'd need to kind of look at that. I don't know if you know that. As well, Kriska. Wink had a breach on the site during the night. One of the games was exploited due to a bug in 17 million TR. I didn't know that. That'd be a bit of a nightmare. So I didn't actually see that news story. More woes for Justin Sun, associated project. Dude can't catch a break. Perhaps karma. Sorry for Wink holders. I'm a Wink holder. Holders, however, who lost money. Hopefully they will be covered. So Wink. So I didn't see anything like that this morning because I logged on to Wink just to get the daily kind of staking on that. BNB was buy zone at 16 was a screaming buy. Yeah, I like BNB under $20. Definitely like under $20. And I still maintain it's going to be a $100 coin soon. Chris can move. And with the kind of BNB as well, another thing that we're talking about, and David's kind of been posting this in the pre-group as well, is more and more coins have been listed on Binance America or Binance US. So it's not been affected that much as I thought it would have been with kind of obviously the whole America debacle. Honest Crypto John, hope you're doing better now. And thanks, fortunately, all good now. Life can get back to normal, which means get back on the scene now. I had to be a bit absent, reluctant, raring to go again. Excellent, good to hear that, Stuart. Yes, true, but apparently the Wing team has covered the loss already. They must be loaded to do that. So I didn't actually hear about that this morning. BitMEX emails have been leaked. In an email they sent, they use CC instead of BCC. So change your email if you use BitMEX. Don't use BitMEX, so I need to change it anyway. Or I've used it in the past, but definitely don't use it now. David D, excellent news. Exchanges just need to be prepared for handling breaches with quick, good and fair response to earn user confidence. It's not affected the price that much. It was up to about 2,300. Where did it get to? 2,366 was a high. So it's come back down since then. But it could still go up, and it looks as if it's going to cross over in the daily for the first time ever for Wink as well, and the USD value. BitMEX data breach is crazy. If that's the case, well, what a major gaffe. Be interested to see if they penalise in any way. Governance. Don't see, would that be right? A CC? And they use kind of, I can't see that because that's not how email works. With the BCC, they don't BCC people and CC and do it that way. If they were given out to everybody. So I'd need to look more into that, but that doesn't sound right somehow. It is, trust me, I'm seeing my email in that list. Ah, right, okay. Right, I need to look at that. James is in the house. Morning, been a while since I caught you live. Good to see you, James. Gary Pimenta, Ethereum Classic is at rock bottom right now. If Ethereum can soon no longer fork, it may be an attractive option or it may be dead. Ethereum, I still like the look of Ethereum Classic. I still like that. Steve, the Wink breach was discussed in a Telegram group by owners and admins. Ah, right. David D, Binance US order books are thin and ramping up right now. Listings hadn't had much effect on prices as noted. Yeah, it'll be interesting. You can see the emails in the last email they sent out today. Right, I need to kind of look into that. Okay, what is happening with the Bitcoin price just now? BTC USD 9129. I don't know the feeling. Obviously, you can't trade on feelings. I never kind of wouldn't do that. But the feeling is it's going to come down a wee bit for Bitcoin before bouncing back up. But it'd be nice. I don't know if people will have seen this coming down to 8,961 as that gap being filled. It probably won't be at all. We'll just kind of look at the gap. There's the top of the gap. 8,894. So no, I don't think traders will have seen that as being filled. You're still probably just about $80 off it being filled. So, but ultimately it could go up to fill this gap as well at 11,800. You just don't know, obviously. Who else is jumping up? Decred, ARD, not quite crossed over the 50 yet. Interesting. Right. Okay, that's it just now, I think. I think we'll leave it there for the moment, unless you've got any charts you want me to look at. See if there's anything else. I think there's anything else there. No, so I think we'll leave it there for the moment. And thank you for joining me today. Really appreciate it. I'm having a wee cup of coffee and chatting crypto with you again. Hopefully be back to normal on, well, we'll be back to normal on Monday. It won't be drugged up or anything. And be raring to go on Monday again. And I will speak to you probably over the weekend in the groups. If you want to join a free group, there's a link down below as well. David D Lambda chart. We'll have a look at that just before we go. Lamb, Huobi, we'll look at the Huobi one, that's probably got more. It's up just now, it's because it's coming off its all-time low, but the thing to note here is volume is up, big time, which is good. We'll look at the 4-hourly chart, I think. Yeah, 4-hourly kind of crossed over, talking about 375. It's not crossed over in the daily yet though, but the volume is up. Was up there, it's come back down a wee bit. It's still climbing just now. Would I kind of buy that? The volume is looking good. That's one thing. Gonna go and put it just now. Volume's looking good on the 4-hour chart. It's crossed over in the 50 EMA, which is good as well. On the daily chart, it's not crossed over yet. Last time it crossed over, 17th of June, but it shot up by about 200%. Time before that, it shot up by about 1,000%. So we're at these kind of levels just now. I don't know much about Lambda at all. We're at kind of beginning of the year levels when it just kind of came onto the markets. So you could see a big, huge jump in Lambda as well, going judging by its history. So we had a big jump of 1,000% from January 2019 up to April. And there was a big kind of drop. And then 29th of May, it's kind of at its lowest at 677. Big jump back in July to 3,000. So what percentage was that? About 350%. So it could be this is due for another big jump. We've got 300%. We're talking up to 1,300 or so. But I don't know the fundamentals. I don't know the team or anything like that at all. So I need to search that. But if we look at the kind of volume is going up as well, which is quite good. Okay, I'll leave it there just now. Thank you very much for joining me for Coffee and Crypto, and I will see you on Monday. Have a brilliant weekend, and as I said, I'll be in the groups over the weekend as well, and I'll be looking through the charts as well. It's the beginning of November, so I'll be checking the charts and starting the November kind of calls as well for the premium group as well. So until then, until Monday, have a brilliant weekend, and I'll see you on Monday again. Until then, namaste. Take care. Bye now.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.